Hello, my name is Charlotte, and I'm a librarian at Nipissing University in Canada College. My purpose in this session is to provide a brief overview of RefWorks for the staff, students, and faculty to whom we provide this tool. RefWorks is a bibliographic citation manager, which means that it will help you keep track of your research, provide links to articles, create bibliographies, and create your in-text citations. If you haven't already, you need to start by creating an account with RefWorks. Go to the library's website and click on the RefWorks link. This will take you to the sign-in screen. At the top, there is a link for you to sign up for an individual account. Once you have created an account, then you will want to add a reference. Here, I've just gone into Academic Search Premier and done a search. What you can see is the record. The icon with the green arrow is the export button, as I want to export the reference from the database into RefWorks. Almost all of our databases have a direct export feature. You can also mark multiple references, and either by marking them or putting them in a folder of some sort, and export multiple references at a time, so you don't need to do this one at a time. You can also export references from our library catalog. There's a link there. This shot shows the screen that allows you to select Export to RefWorks. We default to that option, so I just need to click on Save. If it exports, you will see this next screen. Watch as if you already have RefWorks open, then it is possible it will just load into the tab or window where you have RefWorks open. Otherwise, it's going to open into a new window and ask you to sign in. You will need to watch for pop-ups when using RefWorks and allow them probably for the RefWorks site and maybe also for the database as well. See here, the reference is now in your account. Notice on the far right that there is a Get It button, which we see in the database. So the nice thing about this being in RefWorks is if this article was full text in the database, then this Get It button will take you back to the full text in the database. You can edit the references or even bring up a blank form to add one manually. Here I'm showing you a way to edit it. There are also several user fields farther down in the record, and each of these takes several pages of information, allowing you to add any notes that you want to. There are a lot of different features. Here what we're seeing is the toolbar in RefWorks, and I'll just briefly go through what are under some of them. So under References, you'll see the link to add a new reference. That's if you want a blank form. Under Search, you can search the references you have, and I have a couple of thousand almost in my account, so that's very helpful to me. You can also search an online catalog. So if there's a specific book that you want, you can go and search that either in our catalog or another library's catalog if they're in there. Under View, you can see all your folders. A nice feature here is also that you can search for duplicates. So I find this really handy when I'm doing a search on a subject and I'm searching multiple databases for the same thing, because then I can just put it all into RefWorks and ask RefWorks to search for duplicates. Under Folders is where you create a new folder, so when you put the references in, you can create as many folders as you want. And you can also share folders. So I don't talk about that here. I've done another similar session where I do talk about sharing folders with other people, and so you can see that for more information. It's a bibliography tab for when you want to create a bibliography, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Under Tools is where you can find two little plugins. One is for Write and Cite, which I'll talk about in a bit, which Write and Cite allows you to do your in-text citations, and the other one is RefGrabIt. And what RefGrabIt does is it installs into your browser, and then it allows, what it does is it screen scrapes off of the website you're looking at. So it's really good if you're in Amazon. It will recognize the ISBN and pull a record for that book. But if you're just on a regular website, it will pull the website information, so that if you want to keep track of those and add them to your references, you can do that as well. Under Help, the thing I'm going to point out here is that there's some really good tutorials where they've done Flash and take you through screenshots, and they've broken this up into tiny little bits. So you can just refresh yourself on one part of RefWorks. You don't have to kind of like sit through a very long description of RefWorks. Okay, so this screenshot shows you what you get when you want to create a bibliography. And you'll notice you can create the bibliography to go into Word, OpenOffice, HTML, or just basic text. There are many different formats, output styles that you can choose as well to create your bibliography in. So I generally tend to show APA, the 6th edition APA, but there are literally hundreds of formats, and so if you're submitting to a specific journal, then you can check to see if they have that format for that journal. You can also, reformat your references. Do it in MLA and then do it in APA right afterwards if you want. So here's just a sample bibliography that I've created, and the important point here is to remember to check for mistakes. You just need to double check, go through it, so you need to be familiar with the style you're using and look for mistakes. There may be something with the way it imported. Sometimes a database will have a citation all in caps. You just need to fix that. Something like in caps, you can go into the reference and fix. Whereas if you're using APA, it'll decapitalize everything as per APA rules, including proper names, so you need to go back and recapitalize them. Here is Write in Cite. So what this is doing is showing you the add-in as it's been put into Word, and when you click on that, it opens the window that's below that, and you'll notice there's a little box there that says click to always keep on top, and then as you're writing your paper, you just click on the little link that says Cite, and it will put the citation in right where you were, and it will look funny when you first put it in. That's because it needs to, when you're done writing, you'll then go back and click in that window and click bibliography, and then it will reformat it'll format the paper, and it'll fix the citations, and then it'll put everything that you cited in the paper at the end of the paper. So this really was just a brief introduction to RefWorks. As I said, you can find out more under the tutorials that are found under Help, but you can always contact me. This is a great tool that I use, and I hope that you will find it useful. Thanks.